Trump was a good president during his first term, at least, with many under-recognized accomplishments. And today I'm going to tell you some of these accomplishments and how he's helped various communities, all with America's best interest at heart. So some might call him rude, arrogant, and that might be why a lot of people don't like him. Others paint this kind of picture for Trump supporters, like rural, gun-toting, hillbilly type of people, and they probably do support Trump, but there are many good aspects. Some call him a misogynist, that he's kind of a womanizer maybe, or sexist, and he said some mean things about Rosie O'Donnell, but actually he's appointed many women to high-level positions during his time as president. These are a couple and countless others ambassadors as well. And women that worked in the Trump organizations have said they thrive year after year. It doesn't matter what gender you are, it matters if you can get the job done. So, yes. Some call him a racist, but racist is what they try to call anyone to defame them, who they disagree with. One instance is maybe in the 70s, he wouldn't let some Black people into his hotel, but here he looks pretty happy and he treats people at their face value. He has controlled immigration, so which is great for actually people here in the US, because having illegal immigrants lowers like the bottom line for wages and everything. So controlling immigration is good. We already allow over 1 million people a year legally. So it helps people, Black people here, legal immigrants, just overall. Controlling immigration is good. Latinos for Trump. And when we have machines that can pick an apple off a tree and like detect the color, we don't need more workers. That used to be the argument for more immigrants, but that's not the case so much anymore. He has been the president who's given the most funding to HBCUs in the nation's history, which is kind of impressive, $255 million a year, I believe. And he's also pro-school choice, which means you get to pick where your child would go and the funding would follow them rather than being trapped in a failing school, which is great. He's also done a lot with prison reform and sentencing. This here is Alice Johnson. She's a 63-year-old grandmother who has always asked for parole. She was locked up for dealing cocaine in Memphis and couldn't get parole until Trump. He pardoned her, and it's another good thing. The unemployment rate was at like low for 50 years, and for all races and men and women and veterans, ex-prisoners, and manufacturing jobs were growing at the fastest rate in 3 decades. This might have been trends that were happening anyways, but he helped, he didn't hurt. He has lifted almost 4 million people off the food stamps. Some see this as a bad thing, but it's actually good to be independent and self-reliant and have individual responsibility.
You know, it's amazing. I mentioned food stamps, and that guy who's seriously overweight went crazy.
Kind of real with some stuff, and yeah, it kind of, I don't know. That's why I kind of like him sometimes. He speaks the truth and honest, and isn't scared to be PC or stuff like that. And again, lifting people off government dependence is actually good. You can do it on your own. He has been tackling China with their chronic abuse of trade practices. We've been shipping entire industries over to China, and he's calling them out, and they take our ideas a lot of times, and it's worth addressing. NATO allies are spending much more on defense since he's been in office. They're paying their fair share. The US was shouldering an unfair burden, and that wasn't fair. And with NATO, we were protecting Germany from Russia, yet they have a pipeline between the two. Russia is giving money, like giving oil to Germany, and Germany is paying them, and we're defending Germany from them. That just doesn't make sense. Trump called Merkel out and said it was very inappropriate that they were supporting gas deals while we had military troops there and were paying for it. So nobody else would have called that out like Trump. Israel, he finally acknowledged that the capital of Israel is Jerusalem, or he moved it from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And this had been going for decades of avoidance under, I think, since Eisenhower and the Clintons and the Bushes. Kind of, I guess the Palestinians have some claim there, even though they've lost a lot of wars. And the embassy they were going to build, they were going to charge to build it $2 billion. And he negotiated the price down to only $500,000. And since Jerusalem stone was plentiful there, he built it out of that. Also, he negotiated a landmark peace deal between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, and got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for that. He pulled out of the World Health Organization. They were like listening to China instead of us, and we're paying again the price. And he renegotiated NAFTA for a better deal for us and pulled out of the bad Iran nuclear deal. And he talked to the leader of North Korea and has gotten their nuclear capabilities also under control. The Boeing Air Force One is another deal that he negotiated with. He's like looking at it, American dollars, common sense. And he doesn't mind Boeing making some money, but the $4.4 billion price tag, he called it out of control. And he negotiated it for $500 million less, taxpayer money. Here's Mount Rushmore. I could see his face there maybe someday. He's pulled a lot of troops home, which is great. That's actually a Democrat idea. And he has the cool idea for the Space Force. He's nominated a lot of 3 Supreme Court nominees, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. They will have a long-lasting impact since it's a life term, and he'll leave a legacy this way. They've already ruled on important cases with religious freedoms. Technical difficulties. One big thing he's done, he saved seniors hundreds of millions of dollars this year alone by reducing drug prices with competition and transparency. You can now check prices, compare them, go to different places and shop for the highest quality healthcare at the lowest cost. Like, it's not fair that Canada gets cheaper drugs than ours, so he's helping in that way as well. He withdrew from the job-killing Paris Climate Accord. It would have imposed a lot of restrictions while other countries would continue getting a free pass. And true environmentalists should be upset that it was a bad deal to begin with. The standards for countries like China and India were pretty low, and why again do we have to pay the price tag, float the bill? And we are finally energy independent, and we're a net natural gas exporter for the first time since 1957. And if you've noticed, gas prices have been pretty low, and we should use other renewable energy, but it should be a smart transition, not let's stop oil and coal right now all of a sudden. They'll be around for a while probably. My favorite thing, as much as I love the national parks, he's going to use revenues from energy development to give like $2 billion each year to American national parks, which is great. The more people are visiting national parks, so they need more money to keep up with maintenance and everything. The Associated Press called it the most significant conservation legislation in half a century. And again, under-recognized. I don't think it got much credit. I didn't even really know about this until I did more research into it. So now, as Harvard students, our motto is Veritas, truth. Can we really be Veritas if we're not truly tolerant of different opinions? I'm kind of sad the students put a proposal to asking to ban Trump officials from campus at all. I had a dinner with a teacher called Professor Vermeule. He was appointed to an administrative position by Trump, and I would hate to see him get banned from campus or something. So let's be truly tolerant and truly inclusive of all views, and truth is found by debate and different ideas. I'm surprised that Trump got 11 million more votes. That's how much more popular he got, how much more enthusiasm. And Hillary had way more support than Biden. So the fact that he lost to Biden is just kind of surprising. It's kind of fishy, different topic, I guess. And this is the MAGA Trump rally a couple Saturdays ago, again, underreported. These photos here in DC. Trump is practical. He's gotten stuff done. The most I've seen someone get done as a president within my lifetime in only 47 months, not 47 years. He has an amazing attention to detail with just some of these specificities that I've called out. He's okay with putting America first. I know we're humans of the world and it's fair to help all our fellow brothers, but we gotta love our own too. And he has America's best interest at heart. A golfer, you can look at their swing, you can see if they keep their eye on the ball or follow through. But in the end, what matters is getting the ball in the hole. He gets the ball in the hole. You can be mad that he's rude, arrogant, but he gets it done. And I hope when your kids ask you who was Trump, you can at least mention one positive thing. Thank you.